Hi everyone, it's Heather Lisle here, and this week's topic is about how do you show up each day. And I just have to forewarn you right now, I didn't realize how hard this post would be for me, personally speaking, but it really is. So forgive me if I think this is the third or fourth time that I've recorded this video now and I keep crying. So just bear with me here. I had the most fascinating conversation with a lady last week. She's a colleague of a new client that I'm working with, and I hadn't had the opportunity to meet her yet as when I met with the client earlier this past month of January. She hadn't come back from maternity leave. So this was my first phone call with her last week, and when I say that she was just an incredible personality, that doesn't even give it credit. She exuded positivity and confidence in our call. She was just an absolutely delightful girl. We got to talking about her coming back after work after having a baby, or in her case, triplets. Yes. Three babies. So she took her 12 weeks of maternity leave and was back at work. She's managing a full plate at work, 3 infant babies at home, all of the things that go with raising a family. And can I just tell you, I have the utmost respect for this girl. Is she tired? Of course she's tired. Is she wondering, I'm sure, how she's going to make it through the next 6 months? Absolutely. But I tell you what, this girl shows up. She shows up for work. She shows up for her babies and her family, and I absolutely love that about her. Her story got me to thinking about my own kids. My daughter was born super early and was in the NICU for quite a while. At that time, I remembered and I was reminded daily that I had zero control of my life and what was going on around me. I had zero control over the health of my daughter. Didn't know if she was going to live or die. I couldn't sleep. I was on so many prescription drugs at the time that I just felt my head was in a fog all the time. And one thing I do remember thinking was how I felt like I was slipping into this rabbit hole of darkness and despair. I desperately needed purpose at that point in my life, and I needed to show up for something that would help me feel better. I had taken maternity leave from my job. However, after many weeks in the NICU, I needed to do something different. I needed to feel like I could make a positive impact, because let me tell you, showing up at the NICU every single day, knowing that it was probably going to be worse than the day before, it was a horrible feeling. So I called my boss. He's an angel of a man. And I told him that I needed to come back to work. And he knew what was going on in my life. And he was extremely reluctant, but I was extremely persistent. And for those of you who know me and my persistence, okay, it paid off in this event. So I went back, I had to get my head back on track and get to thinking about other things and something positive. So I took on projects and to get back into the swing of things. And the crazy thing was, when I did that, I instantly started feeling better. I decided to show up in my life and things started clicking. Funny enough, and you'll find this extremely crazy, but there were all sorts of opinions from so many people who thought I was crazy for going back to work. Seriously, I felt like I was defending myself to society or something like that. It was quite bizarre. I quickly came to the realization that I didn't give 2 cents about what other people thought of me. I had to do what was best for me. I heard the best quote from Rachel Hollis recently, and she always says, don't let someone in the cheap seats have an expensive opinion on your life. Couldn't agree with that more. So the experience of having a child born early and all of the problems that ensued taught me 3 big life lessons. Number 1, there are so many things that you have zero control over in this life. The sooner that you can realize that, the better off you're gonna be. Number two, other people's opinions are absolutely none of your business. Thank you, Rachel Hollis, but absolutely none of your business. And number three, finding your purpose and showing up in this life is everything. Here's the deal. It's not like I went searching for my purpose or anything. I just knew that I had to do something different. I knew that I had to do something. That something can be deciding to go back to work when society thinks that you really shouldn't. That something can be, just praying or just making some sort of change. Whatever it is, you gotta show up and you gotta do something. Deciding to show up for you and not for anybody else can completely change the trajectory of your life. I know, and I did it. And it was so hard, but by golly, my life was absolutely worth it, and so is yours. Rabbit holes of darkness and despair leave you feeling absolutely miserable. So make a decision to give up the control, let the haters be haters, and show up regardless. Shifting your mindset is absolutely everything. So be the mama with triplets that went back to work to make her mark in this world. I wish we could all be a little bit more like her. So thanks so much for joining me this week, and I look forward to talking with you next week. I've got another awesome story about a woman that I ran into last week that I can't wait to share her story of grit and determination. So talk to you next week. All right, bye-bye.